Sitting down.
I am indeed sitting down with Trashy. First and foremost, congratulations on the win. Trashy, I saw you when you got back to that desk. You put your head down, you took a deep breath. You looked relieved that you won the series. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think that's really fair to say. This split means more than anything for me as a player, and we have been struggling for the past 4 or 5 months to actually beat the top of the top teams in our group, and today it worked out. And I think it just says a lot about us because we've been working really hard behind the scenes to get to a point where we can challenge these teams. And in the first week we lost to H2K and we didn't really play that well, but today I think we played at the kind of level we expect of ourselves.
It was extremely entertaining to watch. You guys went toe-to-toe with team fights in UOL and actually won a bunch of them. I would not have thought you guys would have been able to do that. I'm going to follow up on a question. You said it means a lot to you, this split, more than maybe some of the previous. What is it specifically about this split that matters, and why more than last split or last summer, for example, where you guys went to Worlds?
I think we ran into the rough period where people doubted us as a team, and you start doubting yourself as well sometimes. And this split, for me personally, I wanted to prove that I can still play at the highest level, and I'm not just some mediocre player. So I wanna. That is why this split means a lot to me personally, that I can achieve my goals.
It's really exciting to see you back on Gragas. Talk to me about the champion pool this game. Not the traditional meta champions going up against one another. Why is that, and what did you think about it?
So basically, I feel like you have 2 options against UOL. Either you try to play the early game and win off that, or if you don't do that, then they will just win through team fights, or you pick champions that are good in the team fights and then try to beat them that way around. And I feel like that was the approach we took, and I put a lot of studies into how they play and how we can maybe counter that. And I think today it showed that it's not like they're just gods at team fights. Like, they're just usually picking champs that are strong in team fights, and if you have a good grasp of what you want to do in game, you can easily win against them.
Easily win, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but it worked. 2-1, great series. You guys have now finished the first round robin in your group, and now we're going to start looking at cross-group play and start looking forward on the split. Can you take games off the top teams in the opposing group? Now you've proven you can do it against UOL in your own group.
Our goal this split is to be able to beat anyone in Europe, so of course.
Fantastic. How is Jeeves helping you reach that goal? Let's talk a little bit about the change in coaching, the change in support staff behind the scenes. We're seeing some dividends today, but it's been some slow growth until this win.
Basically, I feel like what he brought, which is the most important, is that he kind of forced all of us players to step up and work even harder than we have done before, so we can get to a level where we potentially can challenge to go to Worlds, because that is the ultimate goal that we have. So I think it's too hard to go into some specific things. For us, it was just fresh start, and I and my teammates are happy that we have him on board.
Fantastic. Congratulations on the win. Just a few more questions before I let you get off to celebrate taking down UOL. This week has been filled with upsets. At least to the viewers, at least to me casting and on stage, Fnatic going down, G2 going down, UOL going down. Can you tell me why you think that's happening this week?
Ooh, it's a tough one. I actually don't know for sure. I feel like the meta right now is in a spot where you can actually play a lot of different styles, and then teams are trying to figure out which is the best for them. And we, in Splyce, have found some good ideas of how we want to play, and that can be completely different to some other teams. And then when the styles are kind of clashing, then you don't actually know which one is going to win out. But I think it's just a testament to that in Europe we have a lot of teams in the top that are trying to overcome each other, and that's really, really fun. And I think the split will be even closer than any split before.
Will be closer than any split before. We heard Sven's power rankings a little while ago. Could you give me your top 4 teams in Europe out of the 10 teams in LCS?
Ooh, with how it's going right now, I would probably not even put G2 in the top 4. So I think it's hard to say. It's mostly just form right now, and I actually don't really care too much about who is at the top right now, because it doesn't really matter. What matters is how you're gonna be at the end of the split. So I kind of does shit, but
Okay, am I going to let you dodge it? I'm going to give you one more chance. You're allowed to dodge. Am I going to get team names?
I think the top right now is Fnatic, us, Haze2K, and UOL.
You are well. Thank you so much for answering the question. Congratulations on the win.
But to be honest, all the top 6 teams are so close, so it's on a daily.
That's why I picked 4, you see. I had to put you on the spot. I had to put you on the spot, Trashy. Thank you so much for the interview.
It was a joke, by the way. I didn't mean it.
We're going to head over to the analyst desk to close out the day.
No. You're not backpedaling now, dude. If I had to name the top 4 teams, G2 would not even be in there.
And
Trashy 2017.
That's when he dodged the question. He just needed to add in that G2 would not be top 4. And then he actually later on put the teams up there.
Mithy.
When are we playing Splyce?
Probably soon, cross-group play. I hope it's next week. I'm actually not entirely sure.
I hope so. I hope not. Maybe give us a few more weeks.
Oh, man. I don't know where to start. Anything else you want to add to that? Well, actually, we're going to talk about your form a bit later. So is there anything you want to add, like flame-wise, before we move on to the Splyce game?
No, I don't mind. He can have his gloat moment right now and enjoy it while it lasts. Well, it's fine.
All right, see, that's perfect. All right, so let's focus on Splyce then, because Splyce beating UOL is a big deal, and I think they've also deserved the perk of gloating a bit, because this is the #1 team in Group B. Nobody has been able to do it yet. So what did it come down to? And don't say the Void King.
Void King.
It was the Void King.
I mean, to be fair, Malzahar actually worked out extremely well for Senkox in this game. But they also, of course, had a ton of CC to actually set him up. Like, look at all these fights here. This one, a good little setup from Senkox again.
Honestly, Senkox Malzahar is really clean.
It was actually pretty clean.
I think there's just no chance for Unicorns to win teamfights against Splyce. Splyce is so much more mobile. They have Iron Shields and they have the Void King.
And the way the Senkox plays Malzahar is out of the world.
Perks, seriously, tell me about Malzahar and why you did not like this champion until this game happened.
Hasn't even played it once. Well, Malzahar got a buff this patch that I did see, but I chose to go over it.
Okay.
I think it's actually not in a so bad state right now, but I think it's better with an aggressive early game jungler so you can actually gank, because I guess it scales pretty well too versus tanks, because his ult is like maximum HP and it has a good scaling on ult too. And the base damage on ult is buffed, so you actually have damage without your voidings. So yeah, overall, he got a buff this patch. I'm not sure how good it is. I will not be playing Malzahar. And that's it, yeah.
All right, talk to me about... I want to talk some more about meta and picks, but Perks, what do you think of Senkox's champion pool as he showed it in this kind of series and as he showed it so far, and why it seems to be going better for him than it has, like a Kassadin, an Aurelion Soul, in this case a Malzahar?
Well, he's a Void King, so there is a Kassadin, Soul, and Malzahar. But jokes aside, I think Senkox has actually a pretty wide champion pool. Like, he can play a lot of champs.
Didn't he play these champs last year? Wasn't he playing Kassadin, Soul, and Malzahar last year?
Not Aurelion Soul.
Okay.
Not Aurelion Soul.
No, Soul was banned every game, wasn't it?
No, that was Talia. That was Talia.
No, it was Soul too, no?
No. That was not him.
No, I don't know.
Did he? No,
I don't know.
The conversation.
No, but it's not derailing. I'm just saying that he was playing the same champions 1 year ago in Summer Split. So
but
I think in the finals we banned Soul and Talia every game, or just Talia.
No, we
I don't
didn't.
remember.
it was definitely Talia.
Yeah.
It was not Aurelion. No one in Europe really played Aurelion Soul, I think.
But what do we think of his champion pool?
I don't know. I got lost in the question.
All right.
I think he has a decent champion pool, but I think like the meta champs, he was not the best throughout the last split. But now the meta is really wide, so he can pull out a lot of different champions, and it works in Splyce, and they play it good. So it's hard to say, but I think he plays like a lot of champs. So yeah.
For you, Mithy, he played Aurelion Soul at Worlds. There you go. So now we're on the topic of picks and bans and all that good stuff. Xayah and Rakan, we saw them together even a couple of times today. Mithy, after a couple of weeks of play and seeing it in Europe, what do you think of when they're in a combo in a game, in terms of unbeatability outside of the lane as well? And what do you think of the Xayah as a singular pick and a Rakan as a singular pick?
I think individually they're both good champions. Xayah has the potential to outplay a lot of ultimates like Ashe, Gragas, this kind of stuff. So he's just a good AD carry if the other team is looking to like jump into you. And Rakan is good at setting up for his teammates, it's good with both Saya, but it's also good with like Varus. We saw some Jhin, right? I think it's good with Caitlyn too, Ashe. So I think overall the champions are fine. I think Rakan is probably like the new version of Alistar, because Alistar is quite weak because it just goes in and it's not tanky enough. But whilst Rakan can go in and go out, and also his CC is. His hair CC is more.
Rakan is a he. They're a couple, and he is a he, and she is a she in this case.
Okay,
yeah.
That's something.
I just want to follow up there real quick because it's actually very rare we see Rakan picked if Xayah is not already locked in. Do you think
we saw it today?
We did see it today.
Was it today?
We played with Kalista.
No, but wait, Katie played it.
Again, that's how I said. Like,
wow, are you not informed?
No, I said rare. A few times.
I heard you were the guy that like, watched VODs and stuff.
That's why I said rare. A few times we do see it without Xayah. Yes, we've seen it with Jhin, we've seen it with Kalista.
Now he goes in like all the examples.
But I want to ask before this desk got super annoying. I just want to know if you actually feel like Rakan as a champion should get picked more often, even without Xayah? Or do you think he has too many weaknesses to actually see more?
Personally, I think that it has a lot of weaknesses, and teams are not really ready for the champion yet. Same as Bard last year. I think it's a little bit like that. Teams don't really know how to play around Rakan. People chase him when he can dash out. They get surprised for
don't you know how Rakan works?
RW. Yeah, they just really don't know how Rakan works. It's really stressful, and
you know he can jump.
Really, it's really like that. And as an example, in this game, in the last game that was played in bot lane, Rakan didn't really Saya Rakan got dived and didn't really have a good game. And the first gank that happened, if Gragas just flashed over the W, they could have actually killed this the Saya. So
that's
I think
point.
Players are just not used to playing against Rakan. But I still think I think it's good. But once you understand the champion, it gets weaker for sure.
All right, that's actually super interesting. We're going to take a look at some more interesting stuff, more action in EULCS today. Another upset, even though Maxlor doesn't call it an upset. So Misfits Gaming and G2, they took to the Rift, and it was super close, wasn't it, guys?
Tell us about the game, guys.
They were really lucky, I think.
Okay,
really lucky?
If we're going to give the word to Perks, he's just going to go off on the self-analysis.
There, we did see Misfits completely dumps the G2 in this team fight.
Okay, so the first game, there was an issue for G2, and it's that there was Herald and Infernal Drake alive, and we had no idea which one was better. So we had to have a team talk after the first game, because we didn't know what to do, because we didn't know either to go top side or bot side, we didn't know which one to give up. So we couldn't do anything in the game. And then the second game we won, because we had really good draft and just snowballed cleanly. And then the third game, we had a, in my opinion, not so optimal draft and didn't really take the best fight bot lane. Even though it was a 5v4, we lost it. And after that, we just got snowballed. Jarvan got one level. I mean, Renekton got 1.5 levels over Jarvan, and he was able to just control all the side lanes and push us in all the time. And from there on, we didn't really have the damage to kill anyone in their team because our draft was not very good if we were if you're playing from behind. And
So, how good are the Misfits?
They're insane.
They're really insane.
They played well today. I think it's really hard because now we have all these teams beating each other.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like a Misfits better than Splyce, or they're better than, I wouldn't call them better than Fnatic just straight away, but I think Fnatic also has super one-dimensional way they're playing the game. So if people do actually learn how to play against it, like we even saw Rocket do, and I can see Misfits beat Fnatic as well, but I can also see Fnatic beat Misfits. So.
Did Misfits play Fnatic yet?
Yeah.
They did.
There's only been 3 weeks. Let's take a guess. Last week.
They did play against them earlier. I think maybe it was week 1.
I think week 1 or something. I think they got 2-0.
They got super stumped. The second game was like a massive Fnatic stomp. Yeah. So obviously just threw it out there as a week 3 kind of thing, because when they did play Fnatic, obviously it looked much better.
Fnatic are pretty good.
They're good.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone seems to be pretty good, but G2 is number 3 in Group A. Let's take a look at the score. This might be the only time that I'm able to say this, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, we play for late game.
Rocket is coming.
G2 too.
G2 actually, yeah. So now it's going to be G. How many weeks do we have? 13, right? I mean, games. 13, right? Yeah, so it's going to be G11-2.
Okay, so this is actually very interesting because there was a bit of a bet that you guys missed that was talked about during the game, which was Perks, you can say what you wanted to bet.
I mean, I can pass it on to you.
Okay.
You can say the bet.
No, it's fine. I'll set it up.
After...
Oh, you got it. You got it.
FA is the referee, so...
I'm the referee. After Rift Rivals,
Yes.
G2 will not lose a single game in the summer split.
Regular season.
Regular season.
If they
Caveats.
lose a single game in the regular season. No, sorry, if you do not lose a single game in the regular season.
The free show has to go to Perks' barber.
I will get Perks' haircut. If they do not lose a single game.
Do we have the same thought?
There you go.
I didn't even know you were going to say it. I'm so sorry. That is so like BM.
You just said it.
It's my
That
birthday.
was the actual bet.
Oh, okay, so then it's okay. Fair enough.
Oh, we're so
Also,
sorry.
it's actually he set up.
Actually, yeah. First, we shouldn't be. We've all had you know. I don't know.
He set up the bet. All right, Ducks.
Oh my god. All right, we're gonna continue, but I did want to take it.
You guys can mock my haircut and
No, we're not.
my G2 record and whatever you want.
Yeah.
You will see who is the kings of Europe soon.
Definitely. I just want to formally apologize because it's
Yeah,
BM.
Fnatic is back.
On a serious note, though. On a serious note, and this is well, just an honest question coming from me. We've also said as an analyst team, and I think that's correct, you guys didn't have as much practice, you know, coming into the summer split. You obviously had your health issues, very unfortunate. But at what point, maybe, if this starts happening, do we start looking at it differently, also from an analyst perspective? And does it start to creep in for you guys also? Well, maybe, you know, we aren't going to be dominating everyone this time around. Did you ever think of it like that?
I mean, I've given it some thoughts, but since we got we got 1 week of practice now, and we're really not in the meta. Like, I mean, we are getting into there, but we are still not sure about top priority picks or top objective or just like how to even like set up fights with the new champions and everything. So we are not like playing closely as good as we could with the new champs and with the new drafts. And we are still good when it gets to like to the game that we know, you know, like get a small early game lead and like snowball it slowly, and we just take over the game. But we have a problem again in the early game that we struggle to get leads with our new champions, and I think we will get better with time. We just have to practice it. Like at MSI, week 1 was horrible early games, and then we practiced it really hard, like for semifinals and finals, and we really showed up there. So I'm not getting so worried.
All right. No, not saying you should be worried. It's just from our perspective.
QuickShot actually asked me the same question during the cast, and so I personally think that I'm not going to be concerned or panic about like G2 and will they ever get back to that level until we reach like playoffs. Like as long as they make, of course, playoffs, which is expected from them, it is definitely expected they will make it. Then you start looking at being like, there's that 1 week or 2 weeks of prep after, you know, regular season ends. I'm not sure what you had on those papers, but after regular season into the first week of playoffs, where I'm kind of like, that's where I'm expecting to see G2 look really good again, and then of course like boot camping after Worlds. So I'm not really going to be too concerned because we know the top level.
No one's concerned. It's about perspective.
Plus, there is usually a very big patch hitting summer split towards the end of the regular season.
What would you like to see?
That changes the game in a very, very impactful manner, usually.
What would you like to see?
What if it didn't happen also?
I don't care.
I'm just saying, because it might actually not happen.
It happened last year, so I'm just going to bank on it itself again.
All right, cool.
Well, moving towers.
Assassin rework?
Towers.
Moving towers.
Guys, just Assassin rework. Oof, Assassin. Yasuo buff.
We already did that.
Yasuo buff and the world is ours.
Yeah, that big... when is he? The Yasuo, we've seen
we
zero.
We nerfed him before he even got to play.
Okay, so to be honest,
We were
I was
promised.
actually practicing Yasuo in solo queue so much before LCS, and then right before LCS hit, his Q got nerfed for 5 seconds.
That's the problem.
So you can't Q
They
anymore.
knew he was going to play it, so they nerfed
And
it.
then, like, I was really ready to take over ULCS with my Samurai, but now, like, laning phase mid is a lot worse because you play against rage matchups. So you can't, like, stack Q and deny CS, so there is no lane kingdom with him anymore. So it's kind of boring. And maybe it will come off, like, in the end of the split if we start winning some games again, but... Right now we are cornered, so, no Yusui just yet.
All right, well, let's take a look at what we have in...
Your bet doesn't hit in until after Rift Rivals, so...
That's
yeah,
true.
actually, so I could put it out.
Doing Rift Rivals.
Or Rift Rivals.
What if the bet was like a devil's bet, and yes, you will win every single game, but you'll also lose every single game at Rift Rivals to America and have eternal shame?
But don't we get backup from our other.
Yeah, you do. But how can you really trust in your EU brothers? No, just kidding.
Damn, you're just throwing them out there.
I don't know what's gotten into me. Let's look at the schedule.
I think NA will not win a game at Revivals.
I'm going to say that's probably not true.
Well, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the final day of the first round robin. Our broadcast is going to start with Group A, Rakat versus the Ninjas in Pajamas. Sorry, that was loud. Followed by H2K versus Vitality. I love it. Rakat versus Ninjas in Pajamas. Well, actually, it might not be as close as we thought because Rakat, they beat Fnatic. They're on a high, man.
They're on a high. I don't think it necessarily means they're going to be like looking super clean against NIP. I think they're going to be very messy games. A bit like maybe some of the games we saw today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vitality.
In a nice way.
Vitality versus H2K.
Oh. I think it's going to be a quick 2-0 for H2K. Unless Vitality steps up their game really big time. Like,
Vander goes God mode against Jankos.
Really big. Yeah, Wander goes God mode with trash or something. Yeah, Wander life. I don't know what can happen.
All right. Anything can happen here in the LCS, as you've seen on this desk, which honestly was really entertaining. Thank you very much for joining us.
I like the new place. It's nice. I'm still wondering why there's not a picture of me there, like on the wall. But other than that, I'm okay with everything.
Yeah, we
need Freddy.
we actually need new pictures. That's a good point. But thank you guys very much for joining us. Thank you as well to Fishio.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you everyone for watching. Thank you overall. And we hope to see you all tomorrow for our last day in week 3. Have a fantastic night. See you then.
Gute Nacht.
Tschüssi.
And Maxwell said, and I quote, "We're feeling the free win. No additional explanation needed." That's gonna kill! The death sentence finds expect, and it's a triple for almost the best jungler in Europe! A triple kill for Power of Evil! Sven gets taken out by Igmar's death sentence, and Alfari sets up the quadra! I told you boys, it's a free win! This top lane, Trick is coming in to support Expect, leaps forward, flash for flash, Flame Spitters going down, first blood, flash kick, all of a sudden, Misfits are on the board, heroic entrance from Bert, he's looking to help out Trick, flash forward, Trick tastes the fear of Max Law, Fate's Call is used as well, and it is just a mayhem in the blue buff, 1, 2, 3 kills for Misfits, G2 lose a 4. The Nexus is the focus, and Maxwell called it. It's a free win against G2. No explanation necessary.
G2 will not lose a single game in the summer split.
Regular season
is ready. We're ready here at the capture desk because we have 2 crazy comps. Keep it going, Mickey. Throw a look over the wall. He's a monster. He's just unstoppable on this thresh. Knocks him back into the pit. Oh, Zencucks are in the thick of it, and nobody's far enough away to get hit by those stars. Melee range not looking good for the Aurelian Soul. And he's not gonna drop. They don't have the damage. Samus, use a linder. Oh, Samus stays alive. It could be the fight. That could be the turn. Great challenge has been issued. Mizuchachi, the healing is coming through for 4 members strong on the side of Splyce. That's the turn and burn. Man, you can't disrespect the cast it in. The teams are starting to back off. The fight just keeps happening. There's the great entrance. Mizuchachi looking to hand deliver a kill for Exile, shielding to keep him alive. Or is that a turn it back? This is still alive. What is happening? Insane performance. They lose to H2K. The parity between this group is astounding. Splyce right here, right now. Take down the Unicorns alone.